We are live.
Let's go. Here we are back. Oh, what a beautiful day, man. Biden, I think he pardoned me for some stuff I did in elementary school today. Pretty sure he pardoned me for egging a house in 5th grade. He pardoned everybody. He pardoned everybody.
And I know the egg thing was really like weighing on your conscience too, man. Like,
Not at all. That mofo deserved that egging. I mean, that was something that was deserved. And the egg, see, the thing is, people don't realize that egg dries on your house. It's really hard to get off.
yes, it's hard to get off, and then like it could smell if they don't notice it, shit like that too. So
It's a really bad situation.
it is. It is. Yeah, he pardoned. What was it? It's like thousands of people or something like that, wasn't it?
I don't know. I've met, look, man, I've been alive a long time, and so have you. I don't know as many people as he has pardoned. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know 1,500 people. I do. I'm sure I've met 1,500 people, but I don't actually know 1,500 people in prison who need to be pardoned. So Biden commuted 1,500 jail sentences, grants pardons for 39 others. I mean, here's the deal. Like, can I just, he doesn't know these people. You want to know why? These are favors. These are favors to donors. He didn't even read what these people are about. He's just like, this is how morally corrupt our government is. All he did is he's like, okay, I'm not going to look at what they did. I'm not going to look at how good they are. I'm not going to look at if they're a threat to our country once they get out. All I'm going to do is I'm going to commute everybody people who donate money to me needs to be pardoned. That's all this is. This is a pay to play. People who donate to him, who might have dirt on him. That's all. This is not pardoning people because they were, it's not like Julian Assange where the guy was kind of screwed over. He was hosed. No, these are bad people who happen to know people who are influential, and they called in a favor to have Biden, basically let them commute their sentences or pardon them. It's absolutely absurd. It should be uproar. And Trump did similar, but not as bad. Obviously, Trump pardoned some people who shouldn't have been pardoned or commuted sentences. But 1,500 people, Alan, 1,500 people.
Well, one of those 1,500 people is a person that was found with child porn. Yes, this fucking
this from End Wokeness. So he granted clemency to a CCP agent who had 47,000 files of child pornography. So you see how I'm getting around the YouTubes there? So this is absolutely insane. And this is how he granted this clemency. And apparently, according to community notes, it was a prisoner swap. So he is permanently being deported to China, along with 2 nationals exchanged for 3 Americans.
So here's my question. How many Americans are being held overseas that we should swap for? Can we as American people get a full list? Because somehow or another, every time some bullshit like this happens, we're told, well, it's a prisoner swap. I feel you, but why does it need to be the dude that was found with video on his phone of a grown man sexually assaulting a baby?
I believe there's only one punishment for this guy, and I can't say it.
Wood chipper.
I mean, the punishment is a severe punishment. But again, like, there's nothing worse than what this guy did. There's nothing worse than people who, I can argue that people who kill adults are better human beings than people who abuse children. I can make that argument.
100%.
It might not be the right argument, but I can definitely win that debate. I can win that debate. I can win that debate. Now, even if I don't win it, don't care. It's my opinion. And I cannot believe. But so here's my theory. Here's my working theory. Is that Hunter Biden, this guy's doing this quid pro quo business with China. They have dirt on him. Maybe this guy was his buddy. Maybe they ran in the same circles. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, I mean, I think a lot of these commutations are people who have dirt on the Bidens, and Biden's like just trying to keep his son and his name from being besmirched even further. These are not good people, dude. Like, who raises a crack addict? Like, what kind of father raises a Hunter Biden? When you look at Trump's kids, they're good people. like Eric and, Don Jr. They're all good people. And then you look at the Biden family. His daughter is writing diaries about his dad touching her in the shower. His son is a crack addict who hires prostitutes, who basically is the guy who gets the money from other countries and funnels it back to his father's pockets to enrich his family. These are the scummiest of the scummiest people. And the crazy thing is this guy can do. See, people will call out Donald Trump for being a bad person. Like even Tim Pool, he's like, Trump's not a good guy, but I think he's the best guy to run the country. Whereas Democrats they're such a cult that they will swear up and down that Biden is a good man. And that's where they lose me. If they're like, hey, look, Biden's a bad guy. Kind of like our point on Trump, right? Like Biden's a bad dude, but you know what? I do think he's the best at running this country. And here's why: he did this, 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 and this. Then we can argue those points. Like, no, Biden is a saint. He's the greatest president of all time. And I'm like, by the fact that jobs we lost because of that thing that happened in 2020. Right. Did you like that?
The thing that happened about that thing.
Yeah. So I mean, look, nobody created jobs. People went back to work. I mean, it's pretty simple. People are like, oh, the government money dried up. I got to go get a job now. Ooh, okay. How many small businesses went out of business? How many? We could go over that, here and there. But I just think it's wild how brainwashed and cult like these Democrats are.
Well, it's why, like, even when you get to the point where they talk about like just insulin prices. Perfect example. Yeah. They're like, Biden lowered insulin prices to $35. Well, actually, Trump lowered it. Biden rescinded it, and then he re-put it in. Like they did quite a bit of that there, where they rescinded something Trump did, and then they redid it for this and did the same thing. So it's wild. The government's. It's what I've been saying for years, man. Like this is why, and this for those of you watching, this is why. For several years, me and Mark felt like we were just outsiders for everybody, because you got to be realistic about stuff. Like the people that were just hugging the nuts of Donald Trump so hard, acting like he could do no wrong for a while, like it was the same thing. Like, let's be realistic, because dude needs to learn. It's not like he didn't make mistakes in 2020, especially, right?
But before then, Trump really a bad person? I mean, he did some bad things, right? He's a billionaire. I'm sure he made some business deals that were sideways. He says some things, but overall, Trump's lived a very virtuous life. I mean, he literally has. He's had, charity organizations. You can argue, by all accounts, I believe Trump, because he lost money. I believe he ran for president because he really thinks he can make America great again. Mm-hmm. I started out not a Trump guy. But in the first primary I could vote for Trump, I voted for Rand Paul. Mm-hmm. I voted for Rand in that primary. So just shows you where my political allegiance is. I'm a libertarian. Oh, yeah. But it's crazy because I look at Trump and now did my camera just go out again?
Yeah, man.
Really weird. I need to fix this cord.
You look like you put on weight. You're like a ball now.
Hold on. Let me reset this real quick. Let me see if I can just plug it back in. If not, I will have to. Oh, here we go. Start camp. Maybe this will work. Yeah, there we go. There you go. So Trump, by all account, like you look at his track record, and as I looked into it, I'm like, he's really not a bad guy. Like he won awards from the NAACP. He was one of the first to let black people into his golf club where it's at, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he was very charitable. I'm still trying to figure out where he's a bad guy. Like, can someone just explain to me how he's a bad guy?
Well, it's weird because just like you're talking about how the left is very crazy about stuff like that, when you look at his history, like he's done, like before he even became president, he's done some very positive things. Like Jennifer Hudson and her family were basically having their lives threatened or something like that. He let them live in Trump Tower for free for like a year.
Wow.
You hear stories about how not just him, but like, one of the stories I think, and I wish I had the video, but I don't want to search for it right now, but it's this guy talking about Donald Trump's father, how he went to school with, like the kid went to school with Donald Trump. And the guy's like, Donald Trump's father, after my dad died, paid for all of our kids, me and my brothers, all their tuition. Like,
yeah, I saw that.
That's one of the things where it's like, it's weird because Trump will brag about some stuff where it's just like, that's good. but there's some stuff about that he's done that you find out later where it's like, I didn't know he did that. Why would he not mention that? And it seems like the political stuff and the policy stuff and the business stuff is all the stuff that he brags about, because I think for him in that world, that's what it's about. But it's like the personal touch stuff where he spends his own money and he does his and stuff like that, where people don't give him enough credit. And personally, I will admit this, I was one of them,
Same.
But when you really look at it, in that night, I honestly was not very happy with him after 2020. I mean, to be true, but I can honestly say this too. I was upset at his picks, and that's what led to 2020. But the bullet changed him. I really believe, like this version of Donald Trump, I can be 100% behind. I feel very, very, very strongly about it. And if for some reason they would try to do any fuck shit and steal this, because there's still the leftists on TikTok and on Blue Sky are convinced that Donald Trump is not taking office. They are that
would be when 2A comes into play. That's not going to happen, because
it won't happen.
Realize that most cops, except for city cops, of course, voted for Trump. It's just not it's not going to. I know. If they want to FAFO, this is not the time, because we're the majority. It would be minority uprising. So if they want to pull their own little January 6th, by all means, they're just going to be squashed like the little bugs they are. But I look at Trump, what is the main argument? The only thing I see is he was lent money from a bank and he paid it back, which apparently is the equivalent of 34 felonies now. Which, go ahead and explain that one to me. Oh, and he cheated on his wife. Okay. I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but it fucking happens. It's like, okay, allegedly cheated on his wife.
How dare the Democrats even pretend that is a problem for them?
That ethics, morals, and monogamy are a democratic thing. They are the party of transgenderism and sodomy. And I'm not against transgenderism and sodomy, but don't go preaching a Bible to me when you are literally the party of the pride flag. I'm sorry, dude, that. If you're going to preach and they're also the ones who are all about polyamory and pansexual, which still don't fucking get it. Gonna have to look that one up for you guys. We need to see what pansexual is.
Well, by the way, you're frozen. But
how does this keep happening?
I don't know. I mean, you look dead ass. You look dead ass sexy though. But
I like that look. I might just keep it.
Yeah.
See if I just. What the hell's going on with this thing? Oh wait,
I don't know. But did something. Staring straight into the camera.
I think it's the connection thing. Hold on. It's something about my connection.
These are the people that are also Bill Clinton still campaigned for Kamala Harris and Biden.
Bill Clinton is king adultery.
He's the king of adultery. He is the king of adultery. Not to mention that, but let's get real. I mean, if we want to really put this out there, let's just get the Epstein list, and then we'll see how many Democrats are on it and how many Republicans are on it, and we can take care of them all. Because I don't care who's on that list. Whoever's on that list should be locked away in a hole.
If it's Trump, then yep, I will be on team Trump needs to go. I will join that team.
By the way, Alan, the island. Oh, here we go.
Oh, go ahead. You got to finish your sentence.
Well, if they were on the island, they should be away.
So here is pansexuality. It is a sexual orientation that describes people who are romantically, emotionally, or sexually attracted to people of all genders, regardless of their gender identity or sex. Isn't that bisexual? Pansexual people may refer to themselves as gender blind because they don't consider gender to be a factor in their attraction to others. It's a branch of bisexuality, but pansexuality is more specific in that it requires the gender binary. Bisexual people are attracted to more than one gender. Oh, here we go. But typically only male and female. Pansexual people may be attracted to people who are gender fluid, transgender, or gender or agender. That's still bisexual. That's just forms. Okay, so if you're attracted to a man who identifies as a woman, that's still bisexual. I don't understand this. How does this make sense, Alan? How does pansexual exist? So you're attracted to a man who thinks they're a woman? You're no longer bisexual. You're pansexual. So if I was attracted to a woman who thinks they're a man, I'm not straight. I'm pansexual because it's a woman who thinks it's a man. So it's not quite bisexual, but it's not straight because she thinks he's a man. She's a man. And therefore, that makes no sense. That is so wild. That is the wildest of all of them. That I didn't know that definition.
Can we just get back to slot A and search into tab B? And
well, what about tab C? There's a tab C, Alan.
There is a tab C.
There's a tab C. And if you're lucky, they'll let you go there. But I always question, if a girl lets you go there, you got to question her origins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyway, I just like the one that I think is the issue. Like, is again, anybody that's ever watched knows. I mean, we've had transgender people on the show multiple times. You know, we have gay people on the show. Well, yeah, we have gay people on the show every week, just about, right? But you're not like, it's the non-binary thing. Like, you're not non-binary. You're not neither. You're just mentally ill.
Stop. Just stop. I can't wake up and say, you know what? I'm not a man today. And if I said that, these libs would be like, no, you're not. You're empowered. You're so brave. No. Look, even when I go in the cold plunge for more than 2 minutes, I still have a penis. It's very, very small, but I'm still there. So if there's a penis present, you're a man. And if you're a man who likes to dress up as a woman, then you're a man who likes to dress up as a woman. Pretty simple. That's it. Yeah. You just like being a woman. That's fine. Do that. If you're a man who likes to have sex with men who think they're women, you're gay.
Well, that's the thing. Like I recently came. I saw you reshared it, and I appreciate that because it means a lot to me. But I recently came out, everybody. Like I came out as a trans man,
as you should be.
So even though I'm a biological male, I'm a trans man because
it's brave.
I'm brave.
I mean,
I should be celebrated. I can do no wrong now, so I can say anything I want to any fucking body, and if they say anything about me in retort, they're just transphobic.
So again, I've said this so many times.
By the way, I'm also black. So
yeah, you're transracial.
Yeah.
So transgenderism, in my opinion, in a majority of it, is simply a way for affluent white people to feel like they're a part of the victim class, to get rid of their white privilege. Like Caitlin Clark, you know, the basketball player. She goes out and she says she's one of like 3 white basketball players in the WNBA. She goes, we need to uplift black women. I'm like, they are. You're like the only white person. Why did you bend the knee? Like, I'm done. Like, I didn't watch that. I'm not going to pretend I've stopped watching her because even with her playing, I don't give a fuck. Like, there's better things I could be doing, like nothing, like watching The Wall than watching the WNBA. But, dude, why? Just why do they always do that where white people have this fucking desire to be like, I am so sorry I'm white and black people are oppressed? How? What rights do I have that black people don't have? It's fucking wild.
Why should I be ashamed of being white? Like,
you shouldn't be ashamed of being anything.
That's my point. Like, I'm not. Here's the thing. I am not going to be ashamed for anything I'm not responsible for. It's just not. I mean, I'm going to be ashamed of very little shit anyway, but I'm not going to be ashamed for anything that I'm not responsible for. I didn't choose my skin color. And frankly, if it made anybody else feel better, I can get darker than Kamala Harris if I spend like an hour in the sun. So, I mean,
that's Sicilian shit.
Yeah, dude. like it in the middle of the summer, it's like, like it's a little weird. It's in the middle of the summer, I look like Callie Muscle. Like,
oh my God.
And then black. You know,
got the blue eyes.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, now he has blue eyes because.
Dude, I'll get really, really tan here and we'll do skits.
Oh my God. He's in blackface. Now he's got a good tan. Well, I mean, I remember one time I was competing in Texas, my first show where I was decent. And I was like all tanned up and it was a black area of Plano, Texas. We went to a mall and people were like, why is that motherfucker wearing blackface? I was like, I'm competing in a show. I'm not trying to be black. I'm not in blackface. Now, it was a fun time walking through that shopping mall. Cause you're just trying to kill time between shows. It's like, what do I do? I'm not going to go to the hotel. Let me just go walk around the mall a little bit. People are like, why is this white man wearing blackface? I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be weird. Because I had long sleeves on, so all you saw was my face, and it was just
Right.
like I have white features, but I had dark skin. It's like, oh shit. I'm like, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. It's fucking wild. Like this whole fucking world is wild. The victim Olympics is wild. Like Caitlin Clark, all you had to do is just shut the fuck up. But she wanted that piece in Time Magazine or whatever it was, right? Where they run their little piece, and she's like, "Oh well, the black women paved the way for me." Yeah, and nobody watched it till your white ass came there. Like nobody cared. And instead of losing 60 million, they lost 40 million this year.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a step in the right direction. But dude, seriously, for fuck's sakes.
And the thing is, people weren't, and I've heard this a billion times, but people are like, oh, they'll watch now that there's a white girl. No, they'll watch because she's amazing at basketball.
She's very good at basketball.
She's amazing at basketball. Like she's sinking threes from like center fucking court, like, and it's sad. It's sad that I believe that she felt the pressure in some way to diminish herself. Like it's because I have white privilege. So what must have been hours a day shooting hoops, hours a day for most of her life, she's going to diminish that. That's sad to me. Like it really is. And it's because, I think that her publicist probably got a hold of her and been like, look, this is how you get in tight. Here's my thing. They're not going to like you more if you pussy up to them.
Nope.
Like, and I mean the left. I don't mean black people or white people. They are not. Bending the knee does nothing. They don't. Who cares if they like you? They will respect you. They respect her already. They have to because her game's better than everybody else's. That's my thing. I'm hoping we enter like era in 2025, like a renaissance of I don't give a fuck about your feelings. If you can't take a joke, don't fucking come on the internet.
You mean the 90s? That was the 90s. The 90s, nobody gave it. We had Def Comedy Jam, bro.
Yeah.
Def Comedy Jam. We used to do that shit in the fucking schoolyard at recess. We'd fucking just dog on each other. It was fucking great. Now these kids would go fucking crying. It's like if we said, now the only kids who do it really are the athletes. They go hard. Like they don't care. Like they will talk mad shit. It's just the 90s have never died in sports. But like these fucking soft kids, man, it's like, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. Everybody's soft. Everybody's so soft, dude. Stop being soft.
We literally had a show called Your Mama.
Yes.
It was nothing but Your Mama jokes. We had a comedy show called Your Mama. Like that's, to me, like that show would be taken off the air like that. Like,
oh, it didn't care. Remember the Yo Mama So Black jokes?
Oh my God. Your Mama
those
so
were
fat.
so good.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. But you know what? Those jokes made me sick. And thank God when I got sick, I wasn't in Canada. You see that segue?
Yeah. That was
Did you
good.
see this? So
I did not.
Robbie posted, I saw it through Robbie. So this dude died within 48 hours. So what happened is, this is from a guy who, rest his soul, his name is Big Figget.
Oh.
He apparently had a decent following, 10,000, almost 10,000. Had a bit of a health scare last night, but thankfully it wasn't a heart attack. Not sure what it was though, because once I made sure I wasn't dying, I was thrown out the waiting room, and 6 hours later I said, F it, and went home. Canadian healthcare, folks, best in the world. And then he died. He died. Wow. So basically what I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he die suddenly?
No, I don't know if it was from that. I mean, I'm not sure. So basically he had an aneurysm, and anywhere else it would have been caught, like, because they would have ran tests, but because of this wonderful national health care that the Democrats seem to really want us all to get, this man died.
Wow. Maybe if their healthcare system wasn't so clogged with chronic illness, just like ours is, they would have had the resources to see him. That's insane. So he died 48 hours after that? That's crazy.
Yeah, the issue is, there's no such thing as a free ride, dude. Like the best surgeons are in America, because it's now, of course, they're like, well, you could pay extra for a concierge service. It's like, How about I just pay what I'm going to pay for my concierge service and I don't pay into the system, because the system can go fuck itself. I mean, this isn't a right. It's just not a right. Now, here's the thing. There are safeguards in the society. We do not have, like, if you go to the ER, they have to treat you. Period. They have to treat you. But when you have national health care, people abuse the system. And what we need to do is promote people to stay. We need, like you say, we need health care, not sick care. We need people to become healthier. We don't need to just put a Band-Aid on them when they blow up. And right now, people are blowing up. And we have a ton of things. And yeah, this guy was in Canada. So your whole like dying suddenly thing, yeah, probably a part of it. I mean, it's definitely, there's a 90, what is it, like 95? What's there? Theirs is much higher than ours, like 90 something percent. There's a 90 something percent chance that he had it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking crazy.
And maybe next week we'll do a roundup show, because there's a lot of stuff coming out about that, but we're not going to talk about that because we're on the YouTube right now. That
will be a Rumble only show.
That will absolutely be a Rumble only show. But it's just this thing. By the way, I think I have like 18 clients that are Canadians, or 17 clients that are Canadians. Every single one of them hopes they become a U.S. state.
Yeah, like, we're never going to do that.
I know we're never going to do that, but they were like, "Do you think it's a chance?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I really don't. Like, I don't." And then
yeah, so they're cheering us on. It's kind of like oh, I can't talk about the Ukraine stuff either, because there's now, I don't know about this. I'm not spreading misinformation about Ukraine. This is a specific question. I heard that Crimea, they want to be a part of Russia, and I'm not saying that as a statement.
Yeah, they do.
I'm saying that as a question, and so that's what I heard, and I don't know if it's true. I don't know. I've never been, and I don't know much about the geography other than I just don't want to be a part of it as an American. I'm like, you guys do you guys, whatever. And if we're going to save a democracy, we should probably at least choose a democracy to save, one that has, I don't know, those things called elections and shit, like crazy, like elections. Who'd have thought that would be a democratic thing?
Well, they have a choice, right? Kempo master who worked for the KGB, who holds elections and has an extreme pride in his country, in Putin, right? Actor who's best well known for playing piano with his dick.
Well, I will say Russia has elections.
Yeah, they have elections.
kind of like we did up until now. Like, but so I'm not a Democrat, so I'm not being an election denier. Yeah. Okay, I actually am very happy that Trump lost 2020, and here's why. Because it led to people waking up, and it also, bro, the economy was going to take a shit anyway. Let's like be real. Yeah. Like, dude, we infused the economy with all that cash and just flooded it through inflation through the roof. Biden could have been he could have literally made bread and he could have taken a loaf of bread, fed a whole village, and then made fucking water into wine. And he still couldn't have saved this economy. Let's be honest. Like, he did a horrible job, but dude, like there's no way anybody was going to save the shitstorm we were about to see. And we're seeing it right now. And it's fortunate that Trump wasn't a part of that.
Right. I agree. And more like the economy, yes, but more along the lines of, I really believe that like people now are way more awake. And even though it was quite scary for a while, it has led to like almost a renaissance of freedom of speech and everything like that too. Like X, Rumble, that
Elon,
sort of thing.
Elon, what if Trump won? Would Elon have bought X? And that is the reason X is the reason that the country is where it's at right now. Elon has literally played a huge part in saving this country and bringing us back to where we need to be, and or getting us to where I don't think we've ever been. Like we never had free speech, guys. Twitter was always filtered. It was always being moderated in a biased way. Facebook, don't get me started on that. YouTube's amazing. We love us some YouTube.
So love YouTube.
So fair
and balanced. Fair and balanced.
Not even balanced. I would say it favors us. That's how awesome YouTube is.
Oh.
YouTube is never wrong. Like they never censored me. They never shadow banned me. They were just so awesome through this whole thing, through all the controversy, allowing me this platform for free speech.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, and I love how I can say anything I want on here. It's
Yeah. We can even
phenomenal.
talk about that thing we can't talk about.
Yeah. That thing we have to talk in code by. It's wild. What's
And when
funny?
asking a legit question about Ukraine, because I don't know, I can't even ask the question without phrasing it as a question in a crazy way because of fear of being banned and getting another strike on this channel.
Well, YouTube, by the way, I mean, me and you have talked about this before. They're openly talking about how they're suppressing fitness content from young children. Like, all joking aside, from teenagers.
Have your views gone
right?
down? Have your views gone down?
A little bit.
My views have taken a shit after they announced that.
Yeah, mine did too a little bit. I have a pretty, like, I get my live videos, which I do live every day, anywhere from 280 to 600 people every single day for multiple videos.
Yeah,
but
yeah. When I go live,
it should be growing. It really should be.
I've lost subscribers the last 2 weeks. I'm literally declining in subscribers the last 2 weeks.
Well,
I mean,
it's
from 413 to 412, 990. It's crazy.
Here's the thing. I'm almost afraid to mention like the vitamin stuff too, because it's not supplements or anything like that. But like when you talk about the one vitamin, there's ABC, that letter, and then EFG. I'm almost afraid to mention it because one, that's what screwed your fucking channel, and two, I don't think they want us healthy because I believe that to a great degree, YouTube is still very pharma friendly. Which is why they're very unfriendly to RFK and things like that. So we'll see what happens because I would, again, by the way, and I did a video about this last week when you were earlier this week, maybe, or last week when you were gone. I'm still looking for, like, Mark and I would like a lawyer that would like to help us with a class action suit because we were mislabeled as medical misinformation. And I want $1 billion, like me and Mark, $1 billion apiece from YouTube.
Since we were right, that's the problem. If you label something, here's a question. If you label something medical misinformation and then it's proven to be true, that's why we can't have anything be misinformation. There should be information, and then you look up that information, you make your own decision. But once you label something misinformation, what happens when they prove that they were actually right? That's where it gets kind of cloudy. Yeah.
Well, it also they would leave that up. Like if they would take a video down, they would leave it, this video taken down for medical misinformation. So now they're saying that you or I or anybody else that had it taken down, that we are purveyor of medical misinformation when we were in fact right. And for people like us who are in the fitness / healthcare area, that is actually damaging to our reputation, our professional reputations and businesses. So it is actual. I mean, we could prove damages, So just in case, just a reminder, we're still very interested in getting that lawyer, and each of us want $1 billion.
I'll settle for 100 million. I'm not greedy.
Me too, man. Shit, we could split 100 million. I'd settle. For
honestly, we could split a hot dog, a Chicago dog.
Yeah, we'd be good with no shit.
Yeah, we'll take something, like anything. It's fucking crazy, man. I don't know. I'm over here like, and the supplement industry is a shit show in and of itself. You got Cali Muscle he's with that Wes Watson guy and Big Boy, which is whatever. And then you got Liver King. Did you see Liver King's like dying?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that? Dude, I did a video on that I got to edit in the morning. It's fucking crazy. So he had, what is it, like a twisted kidney or some shit and like a fatty liver. Okay, so here's a guy promoting health, wellness, and he gets a fatty liver issue. Like that, he had to be on that, again, steroid issues. That's steroids. Like that is steroids. Steroids affect your liver, and that's all those orals he was taking.
Yeah. I did see that. I feel bad for him, kind of.
I don't. He lied to people. Yeah, I don't feel bad for him at all. I feel bad for his family, but like, what are you going to do? Like, this guy deserves all the bad stuff coming, but I want to show you how bad this guy looks. Now, you and I are both his age, around his age. Like I think he splits the middle with us. I think he's like 2 years older than me. And you see my skin, right? You see how I look? right?
Yeah.
I want you to see something scary as shit. How bad this guy looks. I mean, it is. I haven't seen him in a while. It is wild, bro. Look
Oh my
how
God.
bad he looks. He looks
Oh my
90
God.
years old. This
Yeah,
is the
dude.
guy who was promoting health. He was promoting this primal living, sun tanning your balls, eating fucking raw meat. Dude, there's nothing healthy about that appearance. Like that appearance
No.
is scary. And then you look and also here's where he's taught. So this is a new workout now that he's sick. Jumping up and down with a band.
What the fuck is he doing?
I don't know. I'm going to do the standalone video. I also got to do a live about this tomorrow. This is too much to not talk about a lot. And so now he's like bouncing. So it's really weird because his body looks, his stomach, the GH gut is crazy.
Are those implants? Are those ab implants?
Either that or GH gut. I don't know what's going on there, but who knows what the hell's going on with this guy. And now he doesn't look healthy.
No, dude.
But yeah, people still like follow him. This is wild, just watching this thing. Just watching this train wreck. And it's gone better than I thought because him completely falling apart and having his health fall apart. I mean, it's kind of because people were like, when I would say shit about him, oh, well, you're just jealous. That's on the third, and it's the fucking whatever tenets of fucking whatever. And I'm like, guys, this is all bullshit. Like, this guy is not the guy. And people are like, oh, whatever. He's Liver King. He's massive. Yeah, he's on grams of steroids, and he literally nearly killed himself. He's going to die in the next 3 years. That's my prediction.
I get that a lot. Like, I mean, because, you know, if I say something about like Lizzo or something like that, like because she's fat as fuck, but they're like, oh, you're just jealous. Like, I will never, ever be jealous of somebody I am going to outlive because of their own actions. Like, ever.
Well, I mean,
like,
look, I know this. We can't predict death, right? We can predict morbidity risk, right?
Yeah.
Like, so when I look at, like, for example, I do think if you added up so like, for example, sauna in some studies, in the Finnish studies, a 40% morbidity risk decrease, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do like 10 things a day that decrease your morbidity risk by at least 10%. So according to my morbidity risk, I will live till I'm 300 years old. Now, we all know that's not realistic.
Right.
But what we're doing by looking at morbidity risk is we're looking at the chance that you'll die at any time. Now, it could be 1%, but it just might not be your day. And you might have a congenital issue. Boom, your heart explodes, you're dead. That's what we know. So there's a very good chance, not a very good chance, there's a chance I might die tomorrow of some shit I didn't see coming.
Right.
But when we say that, well, now by percentages, if everything goes how things work out, like we do everything correct, get our blood work done, get our prostate exams, get our skin checked, get our calcium scoring, we do everything correct, there is a high probability based on our, body weight, concerning our lean muscle and our body fat, et cetera, that we will outlive someone like a Lizzo, someone like a Liver King. But again, like, if we can die tomorrow, that's a very good possibility. You have a chance of dying at any moment, anytime. The body is a complicated thing. There's a lot of things that have to talk to each other. Your nervous system, your cardiovascular system, all these things have to talk together, but you do things to prevent that, right? Like, we know that one way you could drop dead really quick is a blood clot. So what do? You take something called nattokinase, 10,000 FUs a day, greatly decreases your risks of doing that. People die from heart issues. What do? You take things like citrus bergamot, you take things like ambrosia nectar, you take things like niacin that, improve your HDL, LDL, and lipid profiles. So that is that's what we look at is every day when you wake up, you got to think, what can I do today that's not going to alter my life in a negative way that will help me live an extra year? An extra 10 years, maybe an extra day. I mean, there's a lot of people who, man, if I only had just one more day on this earth, because every day on this earth is a blessing. But someone like Liver King, who thinks they're invincible, who just wants to scam people for their money by living a false lifestyle as a false prophet. Yeah, you're just asking for it, man. Like you're also putting bad juju, right? Like, do you believe in like bad energy? Do you believe in like fate and karma, things like that? So if you have you noticed in your life, I've noticed the more virtuous, charitable things I do, the more shit I'm able to do from an earning standpoint. I've noticed that. I think there's something in the universe where as you give, you get. So if you give, good, the universe or God or whatever your belief system is rewards you. I've lived it so many times when if I'm lazy with my virtuousness, I don't get that in return. The universe doesn't reward me with that.
Maybe. I mean, I can see like kind of a law of nature of like yin and yang and stuff like that. Like I definitely understand. Like I definitely think that like there's got to be a balance. You know what I mean? To a certain degree. That's why when people talk about like, you know, like death is a part of life, like type stuff. So I can see it, but my jury is still definitely out on it. You know what I mean?
I'm big on energy, man. I mean, it's like, so I met with a couple business people the other day. You know who they are. I won't say who they are.
Yep.
And one reason we met is that they both believe in this in energy, right?
Yeah.
Positive energy and vibes. And it was fascinating because these people are very successful, right? Like these are guys who have been very successful in life. And for them to attribute a lot of their success to this energy and this vibe, for me, that was like, oh shit, there's something to it. And then you look at the great football players saying prayers before games. Like, I know Jesus isn't watching the game per se, but what if that is just putting out this cosmic energy? And what if the world is based on these energy flows? Like, it's wild. But I've noticed it in my life. As I look back, when I have my most success is usually around times when I'm the most virtuous.
Well, I mean, I can see it because especially like you and I definitely really tried hard to like wake people up in the last 4 years, and we're about to crush shit. So I can see that. But
Yeah.
you know, I also think that like it depends on the type of like the what am I looking for? The intention behind it, right? Like a lot of people pretend to be virtuous, they're not. They do stuff to look good, but it's not really about that, right? Now, I think that like it's like we were just talking about Trump. Trump doesn't even mention the good shit he does. Shit, dude. If I I tell people all the time, like Mark's busy taking care of the future of America when you're not here. Like to me, that's virtuous, right? Like, and you don't do that for money. You don't do that for anything else, but to help people, right? That's to me,
Definitely not money.
that's yeah. To me, that's the amazing thing, right? So I can see it. I mean, I would have to think a little bit a little harder on it. I do believe in yin and yang, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I do believe in balance. So because nature is about balance. Like, just like if you look at like pH levels for a perfect example, that's about balance, right? If you look at like an ecosystem, like there can be only so many predators for so much prey. You know what I mean? Like,
you're right,
because there can only be so much. So there has to be yin and yang to it, right? Like if everybody did great shit, it wouldn't even be seen that way. It's the old like ugly shit. Like if everybody was gorgeous, nobody would know what ugly is. Everybody would be ugly, right?
you're right.
So it's like it's one of those things. But I do think that like there is a massive difference in how a person feels about themselves. Like I know, like we love rescuing animals. Like I've got like 3 outdoor cats. We just rescued a dog. Like to me, that like makes me feel good about myself. And then all of a sudden, like I function better for like for a time, for especially the time frame while I have the animal around and stuff like that, where it's like I feel better about myself, so therefore I emit more positive energy out to other people, and then I think it reciprocates. So I can see where you're coming from with it, absolutely. I just tend to think that animals are more worthy than people a lot, but
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Animals, I mean, yeah, animals are the best, man. I got my doodles. I got my golden doodles. They're the best. Yep. Blaze and Ruckus.
Crystal talks about your dogs all the time from the last time she.
Oh man, I'm nicer to my dogs than I am to my family. Like I'll literally get down and cuddle dogs. Like I'm not cuddling my family.
Dude, the first night we had Sammy, my new mini Sharp. She was very nervous, so I slept on the floor with her in the living room. You know what I mean? Like, just got a blanket, threw my, stayed there. Like, it warmed my heart because, like, when I woke up, she was just like looking at me like, "Holy shit, you stayed here,"
Yeah.
But hey, real quick before we go, I did want to talk about why our government is completely incompetent. Like this is a
yeah.
perfect showing of how
Gotta
our
see
government
that.
is just completely ridiculously incompetent. So give me 1 second to pull this over.
Yeah, that's our government.
Yeah.
An
This right
amazing
here.
government.
This right here. Give me a second. Oh shit, wrong one.
That's mine.
That's yours. So here we go.
Here, I got it. Oh,
Okay.
shit. I think we both pressed it.
There we go. So this is the new this is the Postmaster General Louis DeJoy.
Oh my God.
Covers his ears during a congressional hearing as Representative McCormick rips him for bankrupting the USPS. Watch this shit. This is, by the way, the person that's in charge of mail-in ballots, the person that's in charge of mailing your Christmas cards. This is the person that's in charge of the mail service for the United States of America.
You were graded by the United States people, and they don't use your service anymore. You bankrupt.
That is not true.
You bankrupt this through your reputation only. Through your reputation, you are responsible for the fall of the Postal Service and the lack of accountability.
Congress is responsible for the fall of the
Oh,
Postal
so it's
Service. I am trying to fix
on your
the Postal
watch
Service.
with all the AI.
Before my watch, the same stuff happened.
With all the AI, with all the computer systems, you're worse than if I took a horse and picked up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road. That's you. I hope you got that on camera. This is the response that the postmaster just gave Congress when he doesn't like what he hears. Literally covered his ears and gave himself the grade of A. And with that, sir, I rest.
Good.
A 60-year-old man with one of the more important jobs, I'd say, in the United States.
Yeah, he keeps communication flowing. I mean, outside of the internet, right?
Literally covered his ears to not hear a congressperson talk to them. I'm just
wow. That is embarrassing.
I just can't even. This is why the government's just completely fucking incompetent, and I hope that we can change this around in the next 4 years, and then hopefully something else. We can keep going the right direction. That is unfucking believable. Unbelievable to me. Like
it's hilarious.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was. And then I realized, oh, that's actually him. That's actually him.
They are really that incompetent. I mean, government employees. And for the most part, union teachers, obviously there's going to be exceptions, but union teachers are probably worse. And we saw that during the thing we can't talk about in 2020. Mm-hmm. You know, they are parasites for the most, and they're not good. They're not good at their jobs, and they're just bureaucrats. They do not care about your kids. Again, there are exceptions. Mm-hmm. But you know, it just, what are you going to do? Anybody who works for the government in that kind of job, they're people who basically got through on the process of attrition. They just stayed long enough. They kissed the right ass. They got promoted here and there. Then they end up in those positions of power because they did what they were told. But you're not going to get any free thinker in those positions, not in the government. Right. In the private sector, usually companies promote people who can have ideas that will make them more money. In the government, they have unlimited resources. They have unlimited funding, so they don't have to make money. So they can report a bunch of yes ma'ams and just get it done. Like those cops who arrest citizens against their constitutional oaths at school board meetings and things like that, and city hall meetings, and they're basically just bootlickers to the city. Those are the cops who, they're not good police officers, but they'll be promoted through the ranks for doing what they're told, just following orders, sir. And that is the problem with cops in America, because their number one oath is not to their chief. Their oath is to the Constitution of the United States, but they really never cared about the Constitution. They just care about getting their paycheck, getting their pension, and going home. There's something to be said for that, but what a friggin' miserable existence.
Like, how do you fail upwards? Like, we're like, some of our institutions,
government did.
You know, I mean, it's just wild. You know, I don't even get it. I don't even understand. But
I was waiting for that.
I mean, come on now. 40 comments. You're having problems. But anyway,
Yeah, a lot of problems.
Yeah, you got a lot of issues. A lot of issues.
It was funny to read those as we went though.
Yeah.
He was just talking to himself.
Yeah, we had a troll talking to himself, so I just finally got rid of him. Which, by the way, and this is no shit. If you ever join our comment section and you represent yourself with your real face, your real name, and you ever want to actually like face to face come on camera, feel free. But you got to have your camera on. You got to be using your real name, and we will gladly talk to you. I have no issues.
Absolutely,
at all.
Anytime. We'll send you the link. You can pop right in.
So, yes. What were you saying?
I was just go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just filling in word space. That was it. I was just gonna trans go to wherever we're gonna go.
So what do you got going on next week?
Well, next week I'm here. I have no idea what wrestling's going on, but I'm pretty sure Monday I'm free. And then so this weekend Preston has a out of state wrestling tournament, so we're gonna go to that. And Thomas has something on Sunday, I think. I don't know. I just go where I'm told. The day I'm told. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to California. But we got a lot of cool things. By the way, Planta is available at GNC now. So there's a heads up to everybody. It's at 750 locations. So if you have a GNC nearby, I encourage you to call them. Make sure they have it. Go in and pick up a bag or 5. And show us some love, show us some support, and let's get the sales rocking at GNC. They have our top 2 flavors, the chocolate caramel candy bar and the banana maple French toast.
The banana maple French toast is amazing.
That's what got us to the dance, man. That's the one.
It's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. The only one I like better, and you don't even have it anymore, is the peanut butter fluff from MTS.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, we just stuck with PB Cooks.
It was my favorite.
Yeah, maybe one day.
For me, man, for me. But well, why don't we just wrap up, and then that way we can both sit down and talk to our wives for a change.
And go figure.
But and then I'll reach out to you because I was thinking about saying hello to Callie tomorrow. So
I was gonna I have to do something like I know I said I was done, but it's like the grift that keeps on giving, man.
It's so fun. Just so
I mean,
fun.
he's gone. Well, now that you have the threesome there of Big Boy, I'm not going to talk shit about Big Boy because again, he's friends with people I'm friends with. But this West guy and Callie, man, this just you have to expose people when they're bad people. And when you claim to help people and you scam them on crypto, you gotta just leave. Like you gotta find another way. Maybe here's a thought. Now here's a thought for these guys. Have they ever thought of getting an actual job?
Yeah.
Like get a job instead of just continuing this grift that's failing. Just get a job, get a real paycheck for a hard day's work. Stop trying to grift on the internet and sell fucking crypto.
Well, the thing is, I don't know what they're going to do. In my video about the 3 of them, like for those of you that don't know, and I go watch him. His name's Johnny Bravo. He has a channel called Johnny Bravo's Films. He's a friend of both mine and Mark's. He is an amazingly talented editor, filmmaker, and he looks like AI. Like he looks like he's AI generated. Handsome motherfucker. But I said to them a couple times, like, if you guys want this to stop, just stop, because John's not going to. That's not how he works. Like the more you retort back, the more he's going to go. So it's been wildly entertaining. If you guys aren't watching it, it's funny fitness drama. It's not world-ending, earth-shattering shit, but it is certainly fun to watch. So
I guess fun's the word.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it's always, and with these fitness, so think about how dumb politicians are, right?
Yeah.
The stupidest, even the crazy stupidest politicians. Now make them 10 times stupider, and you have yourself a fitness influencer.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
It's literally like, you guys think it's dumb on Twitter. Oh God. You guys have to understand where we came from. We came from the darkest, deepest recesses of drug-driven, body dysmorphia having, self-esteem lacking, yet somehow narcissistic community known as the fitness industry. It's fucking wild.
Renting cars to take pictures in front of and being like, look at my new Lambo. Like,
and he's not the only one, man. It's common play.
It's a common play. It really is.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, here's my chicken coop.
We're a little bit different, you know. We never fit into that mold. We just kind of do our thing.
But anyway, folks, thank you very much. By the way, head over to Tiger Fitness. Use the code MAHA, 10% off. Get you some ambrosia planta. Get you no morbidity and alchemy. Please grab some. And you can always head over to ambrosiacollective.com. We have a little ad here coming up for you because we're doing this for free. We just like talking. Yep. So I hope all of you have a fabulous day. Mark, have a great night, brother. I'll text you probably.
See everybody on Monday.
Later.
Ladies, come here. If you want to burn body fat, not just a little bit, but a lot, I got the perfect stack for you. It's 3 products. Ember, which is a powerful thermogenic that you take in the morning, suppresses your appetite to a degree, and it raises your metabolic rate and have you burning calories all day long. Alchemy. What alchemy is going to do is it allows you to eat those carbs in your meal guilt-free. It's going to take those carbs and burn it off as fuel, so you have plenty of energy throughout the day. Before you go to bed, you're going to take no morbidity. It's the best part of the stack because while you sleep, a deep, restful sleep, it's going to be burning calories, burning fat all night long. So you're going to wake up not feeling groggy, feeling refreshed, ready to go about your day. So we got you covered all day long. This is called the Holy Trinity Stack. And ladies, it's for y'all, for the queens.